I had this idea in my head of sharing my story last night as I was laying down, put my head on the pillow. I had this brilliant idea where I feel like I need to share my story because there's a lot of people on here who share their stories and ends up impacting a lot of people's lives. And I feel like I can do the same thing with this story because I know there's a lot of you out there who are struggling with turning your life around and just kind of really understanding why your life isn't changing and why you can't live a life full of prosperity, abundance, and peace. You know, you're like, why can't I live that life too? And I want to share my story with you guys to hopefully be able to inspire some of you out there to change your life and to really live a life of your dreams and live the life that you have always been wanting to manifest for yourself. So my story starts whenever I was actually 19, because that is when I experienced the first kind of level of a spiritual awakening, or the first symptom of a spiritual awakening. If you don't know what a spiritual awakening is, there's a lot of videos on it. I've actually done videos on my YouTube channel about it as well that you can check out. But I had my first initial spiritual awakening phase where I used to view myself as a very awkward and very not confident person at all. But I started to do I am affirmations. I'm not too sure what the reason was for me starting, but I started saying I am affirmations to myself, looking in the mirror, direct eye contact. You know, I was saying, I am confident, I am bold, I am wealthy, I'm attractive, I'm beautiful. And what happened was, over the course of the next 2 to 3 weeks, I actually started believing that within myself. Now, what had happened was, because I believed it within myself, there's this energetic thing that happens where when your belief in yourself is so strong, other people feel that genuinely because it comes from a genuine place. And so that's what happened. You know, people started to view me as a very confident person. People started to view me as a lot more of an attractive person because I believed that I was. I believed that I was the attractive person that I was telling myself in the mirror, right? I started to believe it after a while. And so since then, I was this confident person now that people wanted to hang out with, but I didn't have any direction in my life. You know, I was like still 19, just had dropped out of college. You know what I mean? I didn't really know what my future held for me. I didn't know what I wanted to be. I didn't have a confidence about where I was going in my life. I was just confident and self-assured within myself. So what happened next was I actually started pursuing YouTube because I had always wanted to be a YouTuber, but I never understood what I wanted to do. I would watch YouTube a lot. Now, this is where the second part of the story begins, because I would watch YouTube a lot, and one of the YouTubers who I was watching, I loved. He used to play 2K a lot, but he started making videos on spirituality and how meditation kind of helped change his life. And because he was meditating, it kind of naturally just piqued my interest. I'm like, maybe I should start, you know? And so what had happened was I actually started meditating. Now, if you don't know what meditation is, there is a lot of videos out there as well. It's pretty much calming your mind down, or being able to be in a space where you're observing your thoughts, but you're not reacting to them. It's being present, pretty much, is what meditation is. It's the practice of presence, it's the practice of awareness. So I was meditating very consistently, and what happened shortly after that was I started to become a lot more present within myself. I started to become a lot more self-aware. And whenever I became a lot more self-aware, I was able to kind of diagnose some of the issues and kind of the internal struggles that I had within myself of, you know, why I'm acting this way, or why certain things are happening. And I started to become, you know, I started to understand the truth about reality as a whole, you know. And this part actually gets funny because I started really just hating the world, because I was like, there's so many wrong things that are happening. You know, I was like, why is there so much negativity? You know, why is there so much dark and evil forces out there? It made me really just not want to do anything. And I was like, you know, I wanted to kind of just repel from society and not even really do anything at that point. I was so unmotivated because I was like, damn, there's, you know, the government is always, you know, messing with us, but there wasn't anything that I could do about it. You know what I mean? So eventually I started to realize that, you know, we have to be concerned with what we're doing, and we can't necessarily give so much attention to what's going on into your external reality, right? It's so important to focus on what it is that you're doing. So that's what I was doing. And I actually started recording YouTube videos because, like I said earlier, I always wanted to be a YouTuber, but I never understood what type of YouTube videos I wanted to do. You know, and whenever I found spirituality, I resonated so much with it. It was such a passion for me because I've always been such a positive person, and I wanted to share my positivity and my love for self-improvement to the world. And that's when I started making YouTube videos regularly, helping people understand how they can change their life, right? And this was it's such a passion. It's still a passion of mine today, but whenever I first started, I was so passionate about it. And well, I'm still passionate about it right today, to this day, like I said. But you know, that's where the initial passion started, was understanding, you know, that I love recording YouTube videos. I love sharing tips and tricks, and I love sharing how people can really improve their life and get better, you know. And that's really what started this YouTube channel, was, you know, wanting to help people awaken to their true abilities. You know, that's my slogan on my YouTube channel. And so I started recording YouTube videos super regularly. And at first I was like, you know, I was so in love with it that it was just such a passion of mine that I wasn't thinking about the numbers. You know, I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep recording YouTube videos. And then I was about 2 or 3 years in, and I was like maybe 1 or 2 years in, and I was like, man, I've been posting videos for a little while. It hasn't felt like a long time for me at this point. But I'm like, why aren't I getting, you know, the views that I feel like I deserve, you know? And that's when it rained down on me that you're not doing it for views. You know, you're not doing it for the attention. You're doing it because this feels right to you and because you want to help people out. And when I realized that, then it, you know, I still, you know, obviously view the numbers, you know what I mean? I still look at the numbers. I'm still like, ooh, if I get a couple followers, I'm like, okay, nice. But it doesn't control how I choose to record videos. And that has been really powerful for me on my YouTube journey. And leading up, you know, toward finishing up this story, it made me realize that I do what I do in order to inspire other people, you know, and I truly want to be able to make an impact and change y'all's lives for the better, because I truly believe that it is possible for everybody. And that's where my passion comes from, because I know that, you know, people can live such a peaceful life like myself. And it, you know, it starts with truly being yourself, right? Truly being a person who prides themselves on being authentically themselves, you know, not being afraid to step on people's toes, not being afraid to speak your mind, because you understand that you're just being yourself. And if people can't accept you for that, then it's their loss, really. There's nothing really that you can do about that situation. What you can control is what you can control. And to finish up my story, you know, I had been posting for about a couple of years, and, you know, I've been posting now for about 5 years almost. And my life has changed simply due to my perception of how I view life and how I view myself, right? And it's super powerful when you're able to appreciate the little things. You know, if there was one message that I want to share with you guys about this video, is to appreciate every little thing in your life. Appreciate everything that you have, literally down to the fact that you have a bed to sleep on, the fact that you have water to drink, the fact that you have a meal for the day, because not everybody has that. And I think when you can appreciate the little things in your life, the universe will grant you with really big rewards, and people are going to be so magnetic to your energy, and people are going to love being around you because you are that person of appreciation. You're able to appreciate people for who they are. You know, you're not trying to change them because you're not trying to change yourself. And so I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it inspired some of you guys. I just felt like I needed to share my story because I see so many people on TikTok doing it, and I truly feel like it can change your life. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to comment them down in the description box below, and I will make a video response to every comment. With all that being said, my friends, have a wonderful afternoon, morning, or night, wherever you're at. Peace, love, and happiness.